So I'm on my way back across the creek to check on some cows that I have over here and explain to you guys what just happened this weekend. Check this out. So that's how high the water was. Washed that big pile of crap right up on the bridge. Look at all this silt that it washed up here. So I mean, so there was a good amount of water flow coming up over here to wash all that up here on top of the bridge. And creek's still pretty high. So let me show you what we got over here. Here's what we got going on. I got these cows right here in front of me, back here on the other side of the creek. See right over here, this is that calf with no tag, and that one to his right, I believe, is his mom. The one to his left is 13. Her calf is, where'd he go? He's that little dark spot right there above that red one. Calf number 13. And we've got number 32 out here. She has a calf out here as well. I can't find that one right now. I've been running around for a minute. I don't know. But what happened is that calf with no tag, calf number 13, calf number 32, they got left over here whenever I moved them, as you guys remember. And so I had to get 32 over here and 13. We got 13 back over here that same day. But then that one with no tag, I didn't know who it belonged to because there was a few candidates. I wasn't sure who it was. So I'll kind of go back over there and recap this. But what we had to do was get all of the cows in the pens and calves. And then we sorted the cows from the calves and then sorted out the ones that I knew were pairs and put them back in the catch pen. And then we just left them for a couple hours so that calf would get hungry and want milk. And then we'd let the cows back in one at a time and then figure out, we'd see which one nursed on, which calf nursed on which cow. And that would tell us who its mom was. We did that until we ended up with one cow that nobody nursed on, which was number 29 right over there. So then we had number 19, number 16, and number 27 as well. They all lost their calves, and so we brought them over here. Is that right? Yeah, 19, 16, and 27. They've all lost their calves, so they don't need to be on the other side of the creek. And it gives these girls just a few more friends to hang out with. Remember, they're herd animals. They like to be in large groups, so they'll be more comfortable having a few extra out here. So anyway, that's what we did. No, we didn't bring 19. That's just that'll be 16, and then 27's back over there. And this one right in front of me should be 32. So her calf, I don't know where it's at, which makes me a little bit nervous. But I'm not surprised either. This crap's so tall. I'm gonna keep looking for just a little bit, and then I'll head back over across the creek, and I'll explain in a little bit more detail what happened yesterday. Alright, so I'm taking my solar charger back across the creek with me because I need it. For now, I'm not going to put the girls in there with the hay barn. I'm just going to go ahead and rotate them into the pasture, I think. Just because I need to get that done. So I've been out here for probably an hour and a half or so. I cannot find that little number 32 calf. No idea where he's at. Here's the other thing that's weird. This is a problem. Is that the calf out here with no ear tag is nursing off of number 13. The calf with the number 13 ear tag is nursing off of number 32. And the number 32 calf is missing. So if I had gotten something wrong on those numbers, and 13 actually belongs to 32, and the calf 13 actually belongs to the cow 32, and then the cow 13 hadn't actually calved, and she did it over here, then that's why she was at the gate trying to get back across, is because she had a newborn. Which means that the number 29 is just open, which is what she looks like. So that means I don't actually know who number 32's mom is. And that's a problem. So I'm going to go back across the creek and see. It's possible that he's tried to get back across over there, and depending on when he did it, he might have made it. So maybe he's on the wrong side of the fence, or maybe he's found a hole and been able to get in the fence. We're going to go see if I can find him over there. If not, then I kind of got a problem on my hands and I'm not sure what to do about it. While I'm over there, like I said, I'll recap everything that went down yesterday. Alright, story time. So, got the girls in this other pasture, got one piece of hot wire up. Plan is tomorrow I'll put the cross fence around the, not cross fence, the temporary fence around the hay barn there, and then I can open that gate and just let them back in through there to graze that grass. So, yesterday we realized we had 3 calves across the creek. One with no tag, one was 32, and one was 13. Now, I didn't realize that until later that there was 3 of them. I thought there was just one left over there, which is number 13. So we came and we got number 13, and well, what we had to do was get all of them up in the pens. So we got them all in there. We sorted number 13 out and gave her a buddy, which is number 41. We walked her down over here along this fence over here, down through here and across the creek, just the way I moved them the first time. I got her over there, and then I was checking on them and to see if they had paired up, and found those other 2 calves. So like, okay, the plan is tomorrow morning, first thing, we'll get over here and we'll get number 32, and then we'll figure out who owns that other one, and we'll get both of them across the creek. Well, as you guys saw, woke up in the morning and the creek was way up, so that wasn't going to work. So I went and I found my way across, and number 50 was on the other side of the creek. Okay, you guys remember that? She was in the pasture. I thought, okay, so that was her calf, and then this other no tag calf was some other calf. Like, okay, fine, so that's problem solved. Come back over here, and we're getting them all back up in the pens, because we still got to get number 32 and then find the other one, figure out which one that one was. Well, as I walk over here to about where I'm standing now, I had a bucket of feed. There were a bunch of cows around this tree right here, hanging out. So I was about to go get them, and I look over, and off in these sumac trees right over here is number 50 with a calf. I'm like, okay, how did she swam back across? So we decided what had actually happened is she had swam across looking for her baby, didn't find it, so she swam back across and found him. He was just on the other side of the fence over here. So, like, okay, so we went ahead and we got all the cows that were in the pasture locked up in the pens back behind me, and then rode over here on a 4-wheeler. Now she was standing at this time right here in this kind of hole in the where there's these sumac trees on this side and this big kind of hedge thing over here. She was in between. So I rode with a 4-wheeler. I had a bucket of feed kind of right through here to try and go lure her over. We had the gate open over here so that she could get in, and my neighbors were blocking for me in case she tried to turn and go the other way. As soon as I rode over here though, she bolted back off into the woods. We're like, well, no idea on that one. There's no point in trying to chase her. The chances are she's already swimming back across the creek. So that's a problem. From there, we went ahead and started sorting calves, and I'll show you what we did there in a minute. But eventually, that she made it back, and so we came back and we found her up in the pasture. She didn't have her calf with her, so I rode through here just along this fence with my 4-wheeler, and we found the calf. He was laying right here on the other side of the fence, right where we had last seen him together. So grabbed him, tied his feet, and just picked him up over the fence, drove him over and dumped him next to number 40. And that reminds me, somewhere right in here, or right here, I need to fix this. We think this is where that calf got through the fence. So this is kind of a shoddy repair, but this is flexible enough. Newborn calf can go right through there. And you can even kind of see where I was wrestling him right there in that little trampled down spot. That's where he was laying. So, got number 50 back in. We're feeling a little bit better about ourselves. And then, at this time though, it started raining on us while we're sorting animals. So, let me go back up to the pens real quick, and I'll explain what we were doing. Alright, so the first thing we did is we got all the cows and calves in here. Then, we shoved them all in the alleyway. Once we had them all in there, we were able to get the cows out, all of the cows, and put the cows right here in this pen. And then, so we just had calves here in the alley. So the next step is, I knew who a lot of them belonged to, so we went ahead and we sorted them out, and we put them back in here. This is the north pen. This is 3. the next one's 2, the last one's 1 for reference. And then this is the catch pin. Okay, so we get the calves that I know who their moms are here in the north pen. And then we put all of the calves that were left in the tub, which is the other side of that gate over there that I can swing back and forth to push them into the head gate or whatever. So we get them all in there so that they're sorted, they're out of our way, but they're not going anywhere. We put all the cows back in the alley, and then one at a time we would sort them, and the ones that let me think about it. Okay, so first of all, well, yeah, so the cows are all in here. The ones that I knew who they were went back in this, no, how did we do that? Okay, now first of all, we let the calves back out into the catch pen. So then the cows that I knew who their babies were, we put them in the north pen. The ones that I didn't know who their babies were, we put them back in pen number 3 here. And then after we had gotten all of that done, and it was a lot of back and forth and counting and checking and double checking to make sure that I had gotten those pairs right, then we put the calves just out here in the alley so that they had some room to lay around, because the tub is a mud hole right now. It was raining on us again the entire time we were doing this, so that just makes everything go slower, takes that much longer. So then we waited about 2 hours, and what that does is the calves get hungry, and then you let the cows that are over here in pen number 3, you let them in one at a time, and whoever's calf that is will start nursing on her immediately, and then you know those 2 are pairs. We'd write that down, and we put them in 1, and we'd hold them there. So we did that with all of them until we only had 1 left. So at that point, we had her separated out. We put all the other ones back in here in the catch pen, and then we grabbed up a couple of them that I knew were open, that because they lost their calves, and we put them in a stop trailer, and we drove them around. Now, there was a brief break in the rain first thing in the morning, and the creek actually came down enough that we were able to drive over the bridge, which was really good. So my neighbor brought over their big tractor so we wouldn't get mine stuck pulling the trailer out of here, and she was able to just drive them all the way around, and we dumped them back across the creek. So we're all completely soaked, miserable. I mean, it was pouring on us for most of the time. And to give you an idea how much rain we were getting at this point, when we drove across the creek the first time, it was about a foot from the top of the bridge. By the time we left, about 15 minutes later, it was 3 inches over the top of the bridge. So that's how much rain we were getting. We got about 3.5 inches in one day. So that was crazy. I couldn't film any of it because 1, didn't have any hands free, and 2, it was pouring. So I was trying to take notes on my phone for a little bit and ended up having to put it away. And one of my neighbors, actually, he had to write down our notes on the inside of his rain jacket. So that was the only thing that was dry, was the inside of his jacket. So he wrote those down for me. And we thought we got it sorted. He said, but the problem is, and then I get back out here today, and now I've got another problem. That number 32 calf is missing. Number 13 calf is nursing on 32, and the no tag calf is nursing on number 13. And she's acting like it's her calf. Like, you know, if I walk up to it, she kind of balls at it, calls it, and it runs over, and they run off together, just like a pair would. So I'm even more confused now. I'm missing a calf, and even if I'm no longer convinced that number 29 was actually the one we were looking for. So still have problems, not sure what we're gonna do, no idea how to find that calf. So Mondays, that was a Monday, it's Memorial Day, figures. I'll let you guys know when I figure out what my next move is, but for now I don't know. Just don't know.